A very good morning to Kobe, the Para-Athletics World Championships in 2024, the Universiade Memorial Stadium here in Kobe. It's been wonderful to date. It is day 7. It is session number 13. And in the morning, we have 6 gold medals to be handed out, 16 in the evening, and what promises to be a cracking day of action on both the track and the field. It'll be the field action which gets us underway to start with a overcast morning, but conditions are warm enough in what's been a wonderful championship so far, with plenty of support in for the athletes, both in the morning and the evening sessions. The school children will really pile in. You can see them on the far side starting to move in already. That's the lucky first group to come in. Immaculately behaved. They support the athletes, and they're learning and enjoying about para-sport as they go along. The conditions have been really helpful as well, and hopefully they will be again today. Gets us underway with the women's shot put F57. Sophia Gillard will go on that, the world and Paralympic champion. Hannah Cockcroft will look to add to her 100 metres gold when she gets going in the heats of the women's 800 metres T34. Yao Zhuan, shot put and discus world champion, goes in the women's shot put F64. And there is much more to look forward to as we move through that morning session. Deng Pai Cheng, the Paralympic champion, that goes in the men's 100 metres T36. James Turner, who only went in the 400 metres here, winning a silver medal, won't go in that T3600, just doing the 400 this time. Naomi Alphonse, Mauritius's first ever World Championship gold medal. She goes in the women's 400 metres T54, opening round at 10:40 local time. It's just coming up to 9 a.m. local time as it is this morning. Wherever you're joining us around the world, on the World Para-Athletics Facebook page, YouTube page, whatever it may be. I'm Tolson Tollett. Will Downing is with me.
Hello.
Steph Reed is alongside us as well, the former world and European champion who knows a thing or two about para-sport. A few clouds, 19 degrees, set fair for a wonderful day. Not much of a breeze. You can see those flags up on the top there, just fluttering a little, but in truth, if the wind stayed like that, it would be in favour of the long jumpers this morning. Not much on the surface, plenty on the surface as far as support goes, and everyone enjoying their Para-Athletics World Championships. We had Paris last year. This year it is Kobe. We have the Paralympics coming later in the year, and another World Championships next year. Yet to be confirmed where, but para-sport is at the forefront of the world game at the moment. Steph Reed, good morning to you. And what are you looking forward to this morning? Because it is going to be a big day.
It is going to be a big day. It's going to be a big evening as well. But I was actually thinking about it last night when we were watching the evening session. Typically, the evening sessions tend to be the ones that athletes want to be in. One, because nobody wants to get up early, and you just tend to have more finals then. But I was thinking about there's something really special about these morning sessions because we have all these kids flooding in, and they are so loud and they're so exciting. And I actually thought, do you know what, for the first time as an athlete, I think I'd rather be competing and having my final in the morning.
You say that, but then when it would come to the crunch, you go, I need a few more minutes in bed. Although in fairness, you have been getting up and getting yourself sorted very well here at these championships. Will Downing, well, that's another story.
I was up at 5:30 this morning, I'll have you know.
You tell us that.
Saw the last 15 minutes of the Europa League final, and congratulations, Atlanta, apparently. Very good.
No such team, Atalanta. That's the long jump which will be going out. That's the men's long jump T37. You just saw a moment or two ago. Before that, the women's shot put F57. That's Valentine Bertrand, bronze medalist back in Paris at his home World Championships last July. So there's the athletes getting ready for the long jump. This is the women's shot put F57 seated category. This will be the first event of the morning. Now, the seated shot put or seated events generally go at the beginning of a session because they do take a little bit of time. All the athletes have their 6 throws before moving out of the chair and someone else coming in after they vacate it. And we're very much looking forward to this one. There's a lot of strong throwers on show in this And I'm sure those people up in the crowd will be looking forward to it. Greece have had a decent championships so far. Hats are on. The sun cream will be out. And we're just about ready to get underway for the presentation of the athletes and the women's shot put F57. The sun's starting to poke its eyes out. Across to the far side, the left of the screen there, it's the eastern side of the stadium. Around 36,000. This was built for the World University Games back in 1985. Football played here, rugby played here. Kobe Steelers play rugby every now and then at the stadium. Vissel Kobe, football. That the western side of the stadium, the main stand, and that works our way around into the home straight where those runners will be finishing, and also where the long jump will be heading out very shortly. Hannah Cockcroft back out on the track this morning as well. She's going in the women's 800 metres T34. Flew to gold in the 100 metres a couple of days ago. A bit like the athletes flying through the air there in the long jump. It was almost like she had wings, Hannah Cockcroft. But we are going to get underway very shortly. It is coming up to 9 a.m. local time here in Kobe. And we'll have 2 days to go after this one. We'll finish on Saturday evening. By the way, the 4x100 Universal Relay practice sessions will be taking place between sessions today, so we might have a little look at that to see how that pans out. The final of that is tomorrow evening. The heats are tomorrow morning. That will be Friday morning in Kobe. But here we go, women's shot put, F57 to take you through it. It's Steph Reed.
Now, if you've been with us this week, you will know that we start every session with a throws event. And exactly like Tolson said, it's simply because it can take a long time to get through all the athletes. We can see Arlette Mawe-Fakoa strapping herself in. She'll be the first athlete to go. So at the moment, we have the other athletes lining up, getting ready to be introduced to the crowds. And actually, one of the great things that the organizers have done here before every event on the big screens here and in the stadium, there is a very thorough explanation of all the different events and the different classifications, just because it's really hard to appreciate what you're watching unless you understand what is going on in the sport. And that is our lineup. And just like on the track, all the athletes are seated. We have our heavy hitters coming at the end of the throwing order. So we're actually going to introduce the athletes in reverse throwing order, starting with China's Zhu Miang. She was second at last year's World Championships, second in Tokyo, and it was because of this woman, Safia Jalal of Algeria. She already came fourth in the discus, but this is her event. Maria Ortiz Hernandez of Mexico. She is a five-time Pan-American champion. Second Algerian in the lineup, Nassima Saifa. She was fifth in Tokyo, upgraded to bronze last year. We'll be looking to emulate her teammate, Tian Yixin of China. Just 24, she came seventh earlier this week in the discus. Yukaria Iyazi of Nigeria, our Commonwealth Games champion from 2022 in Birmingham. Mokiko Kamdamova. She came second in the discus event. Shot put isn't her favorite event, but she will give it a go. Tai Ha Nguyen of Vietnam, 10th in Tokyo, and throwing first, Arlette Mawe-Fakoa of Cameroon. She has already got herself settled. Now, she is no stranger to an international podium. You can see the lineup going there. Mawe-Fakoa, no stranger to the international podium. She came second at the Commonwealth Games. She has a PB of 9.49 meters. Now, she was down to compete in the discus earlier this week. but she was a DNS, which means does not start. And typically, if you have a DNS for an event, it then means that you are unable to compete for the rest of the week. However, there are some exceptions. For example, if an athlete had an acute illness like food poisoning and a medical note to back it up. Now, we don't know what happened in this case, but Maua Fakoa, we are glad that you are here. You've come all this way, and we're glad that you have come and made it out to compete in this shot put final. For the seated throws, the athletes take all 6 attempts at once. Again, that's just to do with the practicalities of it. Actually, there was a time when they did move them in and out for all of them, and they quickly realized this is not going to be sustainable. That one just over the 9-meter mark. 9:20, she has an improvement on her 8:99.
Improvement on her season best as well.
Well, she's waited a long time to make her to make her move at these champs. Nice to have a season's best under your belt. So 8:99, 9:20. Now, after this third attempt, she will get an opportunity to take a bit of a rest. You know, it's quite tough to take all six throws back to back.
Why she's having a rest there, I guess the logistics of when they used to do the first 3 throws and then someone else would come in and then it'd go back later on would mean that you'd have to have less athletes in the field because the time taken to hold the event in the schedule would just go on and on forever.
Actually, I was looking up at the Tokyo 2021 final. There were 19 athletes in that final. There would have been 20, except that one was a DNS. And just to give you a bit of a gauge, as we've been watching the seated throws, we have seen some instances where it's taking about an hour for 3 athletes. And again, it's so important that they are able to get into the throwing circle and get settled and make sure that they have that strong base and foundation to throw from.
I must have erased that from my mind because Tokyo 2021 I was doing the track events, so I must have erased the field memories from my mind if they took that long.
I mean, that would have been a monster of a session.
I do remember actually Tokyo 2021, because of COVID and because of where we were staying, I was 45 minutes away from the actual stadium. So there was no going back to the stadium in between sessions. You were at the stadium. I remember one day having a bit of a sleep in a corridor under a staircase. I found some cardboard, I found some bits and pieces, I lay down and I fell asleep for an hour.
Well, to be fair, we have seen a few athletes when they come out to the seated throws, they know they're going to be there for a long time. They almost come out looking like they've got carry-on suitcases, like they're going on a flight. They lay out their towels. Some of them have a bit of a nap, getting cozy under the shade, because it can be a while. And actually, it's interesting to think how you prepare an athlete for that. Is they know they're going to have to wait for a long time. They'll often come out and they'll have maybe a rubber band to warm up. And I do wonder if part of the training for the event is you come to training and you just sit for 2 hours and then you go through your process.
Rugby used to be my thing. So before games, I knew of one person who would actually have a sleep in the corner before a match. I'm talking an hour and a half before a game he would go out and play. Would genuinely fall asleep for 10 or 15 minutes. Not a bother.
Well, it is called a power nap for a reason. Maybe that was his way of getting pumped up. Actually, yesterday, during the warm-up for one of the men's seated throws, it was the 2 Colombians, Valencia and Meneses Medina, who basically stole the show with their warm-up, doing short sprint races, flexing for the crowd.
All about the gun show, wasn't it?
Well, if you're going to be out there for a long time, you may as well enjoy it. And that was Maua Fakoa taking her 6th and final throw. I don't think it's going to top that 9:20 from the second round. But she will be leaving Kobe with a season's best. She was our silver medalist at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games. She threw 9:38. A lifetime best for her to take that medal. And now she will look to vacate that seated throw circle as Vietnam's Nguyen will take her place.
So that's the first event of the morning underway. We'll work our way back across towards this main stand here because we have the men's long jump T37 final, which is also getting underway. First heat on the track, by the way, is at 9:30 local time. That's in just over, or just under 25 minutes time, I should say. So that'll be the first track event of the morning. That'll be the women's 800 metres T34 wheelchair category race. But this is the men's long jump T37 coordination impairment category, which will be getting underway shortly. That man there of Brazil, Evangelista, who was a bronze medalist back in Tokyo and silver medalist in 2016 in Rio. Valentin Bertrand, I think it is to the right there. You can see he was a bronze medalist in Paris last year. We don't have the reigning champion in that, and the Pan American Games champion from Argentina, Brian Impalatheri, but we do have a strong field to go nonetheless. There are medalists, world medalists, right across the board. So we are looking forward to a highly competitive men's long jump T37.
Hey, you see, they've already got the Paralympic Games merchandise out of Kenya for Paris 2024.
We haven't talked about mascots here, have we? We haven't talked about mascots. Now, I know we don't have a mascot wandering around and doing the usual, but you're a big fan of mascots and getting pictures taken with mascots.
I have not seen one either. I've tried very hard. Mind you, we've been up here most of the time. Up in the gods, you can see us. We're up there in those benches, the permanent commentary positions. Now there you go, there we are right up the top. We are here, we're not in a bunker in Coventry.
The idea is to say that you're waving your hands. You actually have to say that. I know it's visual, but you have to say it. That's us up there waving our hands.
Jessie Zezu of Canada, a really exciting athlete. It's so fun at these champs because you will see athletes at all different stages of their career. And the thing with the new athletes, one, it's a fantastic learning experience, but their learning curve, you really can't plot because you never know where it's going to go. He was 10th at last year's World Championships, but with his personal best, his lifetime best of 5:78, it does put him in the mix.
Well, it's that nice panning shot we have going across from the western side of the stadium on the main stand across to that eastern side where the school children are starting to dot themselves around those big groups there. I do love it that they've all got the same coloured hats on. We know exactly who they are. We know exactly who this man is too. Nguyen of Vietnam will be the next person to go.
To see the process there involved in terms of getting strapped in. Now, it is quite the process, and it is heavily regulated in terms of the chairs. So, for example, the chairs can't be taller than 75 centimeters, and that has to include the cushion. There's also a rule that talks about the angle of that seat itself. It either has to be flat or it can be angled backwards, but not forwards. And all of these things are checked before the competition. Actually, there was a communication that went out to the teams earlier in the week, just reminding National Paralympic committees that it's a good idea to be there at the second stage. They call it the second storage, and that's where the throwing frames are checked, because occasionally there is an issue with the chair that the technical officials flag. And if it can be corrected swiftly, then the athlete is still allowed to compete. So, for example, we actually have 2 athletes coming into this competition with a yellow card. Now, from what I can tell, that yellow card was picked up before the discus throw competition earlier in the week. Yellow cards for Saifa of Algeria and Jalal of Algeria. Now, having a yellow card would have meant that when they went to the second storage for their frame check today, if there was another issue and they had another yellow card, 2 yellow cards would have been a red, and that would have meant the world champion, world record holder, Paralympic champion would have been out. But that wasn't the case. Everyone is on the start.
Steph Reed says she doesn't care about football, but she just learned something about football there. 2 yellow cards, there's a red in that as well.
It wasn't that I don't care about football. It just doesn't excite me nearly as much as athletics.
Well, it might excite you here with Ngayan anyway, because she's about to go in the women's shot put F57. Just getting those practice throws underway.
Where do you live, by the way? Generally, near which cities?
Well, as you can tell by my accent, I've lived several different places, but at the moment I live between Leicester and Nottingham.
Okay, I understand.
In the UK, let's clarify for our international viewers.
Though Leicester have had a very good season, and Forest stayed up. But hey,
It's just gone straight over her head, by the way.
all about Gwen.
I mean, I know who Leicester City is. They did very well.
Do you know who Nottingham Forest are? Have you ever heard of Brian Clough?
No, do you know what? I actually have, but not for the reason you're thinking. So they actually have amazing paddle courts at the back of the stadium, and I've gone there to play paddle. So paddle's a version of tennis.
On the River Trent.
Yeah.
Padel.
Yeah.
It's very big in Belgium and the Netherlands. And is pickleball a version of it in the States?
Pickleball's what the Americans call. Paddle is different because you can ricochet off the sides.
Now time is running out for Nguyen, so the time is now. In this women's shot put, F57. Again, obviously all the throws at once.
And if you're from Belgium listening to our commentary, you'll wonder why Will Downing talks about Belgium a lot.
Oh, no.
He's a big fan of Belgium. Not just the chocolate, by the way.
Well, actually, primarily. I find myself working there when there's a Y in the day, usually.
Ngayan taking her first throw. Now, that clock that we saw earlier, that wasn't timing her out for her first event. That was just timing the warm-up. So she has now taken that first throw. She finished 10th in this event in Tokyo. Didn't compete at the World Championships in Paris. And the 39-year-old competed in the discus throw earlier this week, finishing in 9th. She comes in with a lifetime best of 8 meters 57. She'll want to work her way towards that.
Representing
Well, she has a
Canada,
season best.
Cecil Jesse.
Does Ngayan in the shot put F57, but here we go across now to the long jump.
Representing
T37.
Norway.
Yeah, we've got a big field in this. Jessie Sesu we've just seen going through for Canada. Part of the 10-person Norway team, Nikolai Gulbrandsen. For Cyprus, it's Victoras Pentaras.
Representing Kenya, Opio Samson.
Samson Apio for Kenya.
Representing Greece, Cameras Konstantinos.
Now, Konstantinos Cameras, we see regularly. Right at the top of affairs for Greece, 27 these days. From Malaysia, Mohammed Nazmi Nasri. Expect a lot from him, particularly the form that he's been showing in recent Asian Games. He's still only 21. Evangelista of Brazil. And Valentin Bertrand of France. Well, he had such support. He produced the goods for France at the World Championships last year at the Stade Charlotte. T37 it is. The second strongest physically of the standing coordination impairments. Coordination impairment down one side. So Zezu will start us off. Evangelista Cardoso, best season's best at 6'12". He is the best lifetime best. Also at 6'53". So Jessie Sesu here.
This long jump first jumper is Canada's Jessie Sesu.
So 5'78", his lifetime best. He's not performed yet this season, but he has now. I think he was perfect on the board. It's a white flag, and that gets him underway straight away.
This is an exciting time for Jesse Zezu. And I think sometimes what happens for athletes who come into the sport that are a little bit older, you almost miss that ability to be a junior, and you automatically get thrust into the spotlight of a senior world championships. And it can be tough. It's a really, really steep learning curve. He just had his world championship debut last year, but with a Paralympics coming up, it's so fantastic for athletes to get that extra boost of experience going in.
Jesse says he was a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from the University of Guelph, and 5:42 he kicks off with, which is actually not far off his lifetime best. It's an excellent start for him. Now, he exited early, along with Gulbrandsen in last year's World Championship final. Zezu was 10th. Gulbrandsen was 11th. He didn't clear 5 meters in that canny air. With the opening attempt, he didn't really use the board there. So that's giving about 20 centimeters away. But he has a mark, which is important, to be honest. And by the way, there's 8 in this, so everybody will have their 6 attempts.
But as you say, it's still important to practice getting a mark early on. And actually, one thing I just wanted to correct that I think I said earlier in the week, you can just see there the meter markers beside the pit to help gauge. And I had thought that the meter markers weren't there for the visually impaired events for the T11 and T12 because you couldn't really judge it because of the length of the board. It's actually a safety thing. That's why they took them away.
4:37, he's in second place.
We see sometimes that the visually impaired athletes will veer, and if you have things in their way, especially metal rods like that, that can be a bit dangerous, and we've actually seen it already on the track.
Yeah, I'll take you back to 2015 and Lex Gillette in Doha. And Will and I were commentating at the time, and Lex Gillette hit the boards on the side, and it was a painful injury. He did come back and compete again in that competition.
Victorious Panteras, his first attempt, 5th last year in Paris, setting off to 6 meters. That was probably the famous video of Lex Gillette that I know a lot of people that I work with in sport who don't even know much about athletics, full stop. They'll always mention that. It'll come across their reels.
Yeah, I remember he had the big graze up his leg as well, where it slid on the surface.
5:74, Panteras goes in front.
Tough hombre, though. He came back.
Oh, he's a man. He's the man. He is not here. Panteras, by the way, was 6th in the last Europeans in Bydgoszcz. That was high-class stuff. Sharabelny of Ukraine took that. This is a bio of Kenya. Away he comes. Oh, he's used that board well. He's planted himself down. That's well over 5 meters. That was a very dramatic landing. He was 7th in the World Championships last year. He just plonked himself down as if on a shooting stick. But it's an awesome effort. 5:58, his lifetime best, but not anymore. 5:73, and he goes into the silver medal position, and this is really opening up.
A PU's second jump then almost went as far as his first.
Cameras for Greece, 9th in the World Championship final last year. Oh, he's gone far. All these men look like big contenders, and Cameras gets the white flag. That's well over 5. He's a 6-meter man at his best, but not so far this year.
And you can just see that wonderful technique and the way he carries the speed. Absolutely perfect on that board. But you see the way there's just, you don't have to know anything about long jump to spot the flow in that jump.
6 meters dead, and Cameras goes into the gold medal position. Next up for Malaysia, Muhammad Nazmi Nazri. He's a new name in the scene, the 21-year-old, and he has gone far here. 5.74, his lifetime best this year. And he went way out there. It's silver in the Southeast Asian Games. He's never broached 6 meters in his career.
Men's long jump T37 final, they're in their first attempt.
But now, look at that. 6.13, it's a lifetime best by over half a meter. And Nasri goes into the gold medal position. Silver behind Kulakorn Buttigieg of Thailand in the Southeast Asian Games last year. As Evangelista Cardoso comes now. Matthias Evangelista. The silver last year. A big candidate this year. That's out towards 6 meters again, and that is a white flag.
And this is exciting. I'm thinking back of the different long jump competitions we've had so far. Most of them have been kind of slow burners. It's taken a while for the athletes to set their runway and get their mark, whereas on this one, we kicked off with 2 personal bests, a string of season's bests. Clearly, conditions are really good down there.
No doubt about it. He won bronze at the last Paralympic Games and silver at the last World Championships last year. And 6.01 puts him into the silver medal position here by a centimetre above Camarás. Valentin Bertrand now. Such a big favourite last year at the Stade Charlotte. .610 in his career. France only won 4 medals last year at the World Championships.
Just have a look at that tailwind that's behind them at the moment as well. Mostly in this competition, long jump, throughout these championships, there's been a slight headwind. There is a tailwind behind the athletes at the moment. Now, it hasn't gone up over that 2.0 metre mark yet, but it's getting close sometimes.
Bronze last year, he's up to 4th now, 5.81.
That one there was past the 2.0 mark. That was plus 2.2. So if we do see any championship or world records, just keep an eye on that wind speed.
Here's Jesse Sezu again in this second round.
Red flag there. Went over the edge of the board, did Jesse Sezu. So his second jump, there'll be no mark, and he won't improve on where he is. Currently sitting in 7th position. You can see there, some distance over. And at the moment, it is the youngster from Malaysia, Muhammad Nasri, with a lifetime best of 6.13, who leads the way. Confirmation of the foul there for Jesse Sezu. Just have a look at that wind to the left there and those socks. When Bertrand went a moment or two ago, he was plus 2.2. It has really ratcheted up some. Gorbranson at the bottom of the pile, the 8th of 8, 4.37 with his opener. .24 is his best.
It's an interesting contrast to yesterday when we were seeing athletes patiently waiting for the headwind to die down, because within the actual competition itself, all of the marks stand. So if you can pick up a pretty kicking tailwind, you take it. However, if it's over 2.0 meters per second, while the mark won't count towards a world record, it still counts in the competition.
Exactly right. There is one little caveat we should say here, that when it comes to the track events, if the wind remains as it is, it will be into the face of those athletes as they head down the last 100 metres, or if it is for a 100 metres race, it will affect them.
It's Penteras here, second attempt. 5.74 in the opening round, and he's heading out towards 6 meters. He gets the white flag. Well, he finished 5th in the World Championship final last year. He's still only 24. Finished 1 place behind Matthias Evangelista, who was 4th. I might have actually given him a silver medal a few minutes ago. Not in Paris, he did win the bronze in in Tokyo. Don't worry, Matthias, you'll have your day. Maybe today. He's in second place now. Cameras in third, Pentara's fifth, and now fourth, above Bertrand.
5.87 meter, his second attempt. 5.87 meters.
Samson Apayo, 5.73 in the opening round, and as you've seen, they already have their Paralympic Games kit ready for this summer. 5.73's a lifetime best, so can he improve on it again? Oh, it's a red flag. It is such a unique landing style, but obviously it's something that works for him.
I've not seen him jump before, and so I was curious to see him jump again to see if that is his style. But the thing is, and the most important thing, is that if you are going to fall forward, do not fall backwards. Sometimes you'll see as the athletes carry on that technique will evolve, and ideally you want to land in almost with your feet out and collapse your bum towards them a bit like an accordion, but sometimes it takes time for that technique to develop.
I've got a completely new look on an accordion now.
Cameron's in the bronze medal position, 6 meters this morning. He's met that well, the kick in the air. He's obviously feeling that he's just held himself back a bit, lost a bit of distance there.
And do you know what? We saw this from Marcus Rem last night. It was interesting to watch Marcus really feel a bit frustrated in those early rounds, actually really until round 4, I think, was when he hit it big. And this happens sometimes, and just like Rem did, you have to work through the competition.
5.65, stays in third.
Yeah, it was just a few little stuttering steps towards the board there, wasn't there, where he lost out. But we move to the track now. You can see in the foreground, women's 800 metres T34. Hannah Cockcroft going in the first one from Great Britain.
The now 15-time world champion, 22 global golds. I'm sure there's plenty staying up late to watch her. Plenty have got up early to watch Sarah Clifton-Bly, who is a T33. More about that later on. Hannah Cockcroft, Liu Pan, Lan Han Yu, and Haruka Kitara, Haruka locally. Lots of great champions here. The reigning world and Paralympic champion. She skipped Bidgosh, she skipped Grosseto as well. And Stadtkanal in 2012. She has not competed in European Championships and Paralympic Game years. It would have been a European Championship year, but for the schedule still being somewhat affected many years on from you know what.
800 meter T34, round 1, heat 1.
So the outside in lane 8 for China. She's still only 16, but she's the Asian Games champion over 100 and 800 in silver in the one here, Lan Han Yu.
Representing
in lane 7 for Japan, silver in the Asian Games, 1 in the 8. For Japan, Haruka Kitara.
In lane
6 for China, bronze in the 800 in the Asian Para Games last year in Hangzhou, Liu Pan.
In
lane 5 for Great Britain, the 15-time world champion, 7-time Paralympic champion, Hannah Cockcroft.
In lane 4, representing Australia.
And in lane 4 for Australia, 5th in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in 2022. She's a T33. She's got world and championship records to aim for in this as well. It's Sarah Clifton-Bly. Great sporting family. Hannah Cockcroft. Pure quality. Anytime she races, that's the flag, that's on top. So women's 800 T34 underway. Clifton-Bly, Cockcroft, Liu, Kitara and Lan. And Hannah Cockcroft is away, straight away. Rocketing clear. Only once in a championship race individually has she not taken the gold. That was Berlin in 2018, and it might have been the start of a new era. Well, it was a new era of Cockcroft winning everything all over again. Universal relay silver, but when it's been Hannah on her own, she has been on her own, and she is here now too. It's Lan in second place. It's Kitara in third. Clifton Bly is in fifth place right now. Lou just fell off the rankings there, but don't worry about that. Cockcroft takes the bell. She's well clear. Well out in front. When they brought the 800 in and phased out the 2, she had a new category to have to learn to get extra endurance in. It took a while, but she is as dominant in the 2-lap race at T34 as she is in anything else. It's Cockcroft ahead of Lou and Lan. Kitara back and forth right now. Clifton Bly we'll speak about very shortly because she's got something else to aim for here. She's a T33. The T34s are physically stronger. The 33s have much more impairment, but Hannah Cockcroft, absolute star, winding her way through. She'll have been here for hours and hours. She was here the other morning, 3 hours before her heats. And at 9:30 exactly on a Thursday morning, Cockcroft is through. It's a championship record, 1:54.83. She's not holding back, tell you that. It's the top 3 who go through, no doubt who the top 1 was. And Lou and Lan are going to make it as well. China 2 and 3. Cockcroft wonderfully dominant in that. So Lan making it and Lou making it. Kitara's going to come through in 4th. But Hannah Cockcroft, no worries there at all. So here is Haruka Kitara in 4th for Japan. Asian Games silver in the 1 and the 8s. I'm afraid they've taken the clock away because Sarah Clifton Bly, the world record's 2:22 for the T33s. That's lasted since 2016, and the championship record 2:52. I'm certain it's going to be smashed here by Sarah Clifton Bly from New South Wales. Her championship record as in 1998, and Sarah Clifton Bly is through. We'll give you the time in a moment. She's still only 20. Her coach is the great Louise Sauvage. She's in the F32s as well, where her coach is David Bruce. And there you go. Hannah Cockcroft giving a post-race interview, and that's all you need to know. Comfortable it was.
Well, it was a bit of an exhibition there from Hannah, but I can't. If I was Lan or Liu in that call room, I'd be so tempted to say to her, hey, do you think you could just give us a bit of a draft or give us a ride, pull us to a fast time? Now, Lan and Liu did have great races, and what Hannah did, and rightly so, is she got off strong, didn't want to let anybody get a free ride or into her draft, and she can feel quite confident in that final.
And Sarah Clifton Bly in 5th, 2:51.48, breaks the T33 championship record of Ireland's Mary Rice. That had lasted 26 years, so well done there, Sarah.
Can I also just say I'm fairly certain Clifton Bly is the only one who has done the throws 800-meter double in this competition.
Some effort that. Brilliant sporting family. Her sister Ellie is a gymnast, her uncle, international triathlete, formerly a swimmer, cyclist, brother, first grade rugby. A credit to Sydney University Athletics Club. Here's cameras trying to be a credit to Greece here. That's a red flag.
It is. He's in 3rd position. Nasri leads at the moment. No change from last when you were with us. In the long jump, Mohammed Nazmi Nasri, 21 years of age, and his first major championships with a lifetime best of 6.13. Smashed his previous mark. Those windsocks have maybe died down a little bit. But here goes the leader.
Now, this has already been a big day for Nasri. He has just joined the 6-meter club, and he's happened to do it on one of the most important days of this year.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be as long as his first one, but just takes a couple of small steps each time towards the end there. Yeah, It may be his style. That's tight, isn't it?
I have a feeling that one
Yeah.
is probably going to get a red flag. But it's actually still a fantastic jump. And even though that may or may not be given a white flag, it just shows that he's backing up that PB. It wasn't a fluke.
Well, they gave it a white flag. So it's given a mark of 6:02. Interesting. I thought that might have been a cross there, but... Well, Matheus Evangelista Cardoso, who is in second position, he went 6:01 with his opener and then 5:99 for the man who was a bronze medalist from the Paralympic Games in Tokyo 2020. Off Brazil, off he goes on the runway for 3. Well, that one's all right off the board. There was no issues there with the jumping position. Maybe an issue with the actual length of it, though.
Evangelista Cardoso didn't have a great competition by his standards in Paris, and it was Valentin Bertrand who really took advantage. So he's going to want to come back and make amends for the World Championships last year.
Yeah, down somewhat, that one, 5:60. So he stays in second position. We'll come back to the long jump T37 in a little while, but it's time to move back to the track. It's the second heat of the women's 800 metres T34. And this one sees the European champion, also of Great Britain, Fabienne Andre, go. There are 4 in this one. It'll be the first 3 that go through. So 1 less than the previous heat. Semi-final, whichever you want to call it. But there will be 3 that go through automatically, and then we'll be looking at the next fastest after that.
In lane 8, representing Japan.
So out in lane 8,
Onodera
Onodera Mo, bronze medalist already here in the 100 metres.
In lane 7, representing
6th in this event
Belgium.
last year.
Les
Joyce Lefebvre,
Jones.
lifetime best of 2:8.70. Disqualified here in the 100 metres, 5th in this event last year
In lane 6,
in Paris. Fabienne Andre,
representing Great Britain, Andre Fabian.
she'll go in lane 3. 4th in 2020.
In lane 5,
European
representing
champion at
Japan,
Tokyo.
Yoshida Ayano.
Yoshida Ayano, the second of the Japanese going in this. She took 5th place in the 100 metres here already.
Women's 800 meter T34 round 1, heat 2 starts now.
On your marks.
So they're set to go. It will be the top 3 that go through automatically. And away they get with no problems at all. It is lanes 5, 6, 7 and 8 which are occupied. And it is Fabienne Andre who gets out quickest of all. Very similar to what Hannah Cockcroft did in the last semi-final when she blasted out. And Andre gets to the front and she'll move across and head into the inside lane, and she's already got a lead of around 15 metres to 20 metres as we wait the other athletes just moving across. Andre very, very quick, moving over through that first 200 metres, so 600 metres remaining, and she's looking at a very strong position, flying around there and making it look rather easy indeed. You just wonder whether she might try and conserve a bit of energy during the second 400. Championship record of Hannah Cockcroft breaking it herself in the opening semi-final. You wonder whether Andre does have that type of explosive speed to match that championship record of Cockcroft. Well, she's got across in 1:03.88 in the opening 400 metres. It is a long, long distance at the moment between her and Onodera Mo of Japan, who's currently in second position. Joyce Lefebvre is in that third automatic qualifying position, and Yoshida is being dropped off by about 20 metres at the back. But it's this lady out in front, Fabienne Andre, who's looking supremely confident and very strong. 200 metres to go, and she might just ease off a little bit towards the end, or she may well just continue on and give herself a good blowout ahead of the final. It will more than likely be a showdown between her and Hannah Cockcroft. But with 100 metres to go, looking very, very comfortable. Fabienne Andre She was 4th in the 100 metres, just missing out on a medal in that one. In the 800 metres, you would fancy her chances of at least a silver and perhaps pushing Cockcroft. 2:05.86 is the time she comes across in, outside her lifetime best she set this year. And coming across in second, it is Onodera of Japan. And the third automatic qualification position is Joyce Lefebvre of Belgium. Yoshida Ayano in 4th place. We'll just wait for her time because we do have 2 fastest qualifiers who will go through. She'll automatically go through as a matter of fact, because her time will be better than that of the Australian who went through in the last one, Sarah Clifton-Blight. So season best for Yoshida in 4th place. Season best also for Lefebvre and Onodera as well, but a reasonably handy race there with not too much exertion for Fabienne Andre.
I do wonder if Andre and Cockcroft perhaps had dinner last night and discussed tactics and thought, you know what, we're both going to go out hard. And again, Andre would have known she had the fastest time coming into this, not looking to give anyone a free ride behind her. And by free ride, I just mean she wanted to get out far enough that nobody was going to benefit from getting into her draft, because if someone gets into your draft, then there is the risk that they've saved energy and can sprint around you. But I'm so excited for Andre. As you said, 4th in the 100, just missing out. This is a huge opportunity for her to snag a global medal.
So all 4 from that race have moved through to the final. The fact that there's 9 in, and Sarah Clifton-Bly's time being in T33 was a slightly slow one, despite her breaking the T33 championship record. Andre, Onodera, Lefebvre and Yoshida go through to the final. Season bests for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And in the opening 800 metres T34 heat, it is Hannah Cockcroft with that championship record. Lan and Lou go through with season bests as well. This is how it looks. Ayano, Yoshida and Katara Haruka are the 2 fastest qualifiers going through. Hannah Cockcroft with that championship record at the top of the pile. As we move back to the field events, as the women's shot put, F64.
Really good field in this. As usual, we have 11 going in this F64. This is the single below knee category. And 11 going in this. And a whole load of classes together, the 42s and the 44s. And just the 164, that is Selena Xiao of Fiji. We've got Osiris Machado as well. And speaking of which, representing Fiji, they are a growing team here, actually, which is welcome to see.
Representing Norway, Nessie Ida.
So Ida Nessa from that very good sized team of Norway. Jana van der Merwe of South Africa was 10th in last year's final. Selena Xiao, 7:15, so she's an oceanic record to aim for. She is in the 64s, the only one from there in this. Osiris Machado, who's only 20, global debut for her. Navarres de las Evas of Cuba, 10:19, lifetime best this year. So Raul Middleton of the United States, very well worth keeping an eye on here, 11:02 lifetime best this year. China, Yang Yue, it's an F44. It's like last year, they were all in together, the 3 groups. Also for Fiji, 8:79 lifetime best for Nabil Batunisolo. 7th in last year's World Championship final was Lisa Martin Wagner. She is 31 now. World record holder from 2015 in Doha. It's also the championship record. Defending champion, Lao Zhuan. And Alexandra Nouche finished 8th in last year's World Championship final in this F64 shot, so there's a whole load of world records and championship records to keep an eye on, just as we saw that women's 400, 800 actually it was a few moments ago in the T34s. So Ida Nessa on the way first of all. Second in the discus in Bydgoszcz 3 years ago at the Europeans. Great talented multi-throwing, no doubt about that. As part of that decent-sized Norwegian team, growing all the time. The discus European champion in Berlin in 2018. 10 meters dead, her lifetime best set this year, and that's around 9:30, 9:40. Which, actually, that's the time as well. At 9:28 for Ida Nessa. Really good team. There's more publicity coming for it as well. She's the junior Norwegian champion, by the way, as well, I should point out. Next up, Jana van der Merwe, 8:98, her lifetime best this year. Well, that's on the line, isn't it? I'm not sure if it's exactly 9 meters. That might just be a new lifetime best by a centimeter or two. Van der Merwe, new lifetime best. 9 meters exactly. That's the way to do it. Now, first of two for Fiji. Selina Sande Sao. She's been international badminton for quite a few times as well. She's been in the Pacific Games and the Solomon Islands. That is the able-bodied version of the same. And she's in medical school right now as well. She's got a lot going on. And she's here as well. Busy times. Very good morning to you if you're watching there. I think you're a couple of time zones on from us. 7:11. Her lifetime best is 7:15, so she's getting closer and closer to it. Next up for Mexico, Machado. That's just beyond 9. The Pan Am champion in the discus last year in Santiago. Beat off Jessica Himes and Alicia Guerrero of the United States in that. And only in the discus there. 9:07, and she goes into the silver medal position in this opening round. Fifth in the discus last year she was, in the Worlds in Paris. That was her World Championship debut, or global debut. Competition continues. F11 men's discus. This is complete visual impairment. And a few familiar names from this week and from every year are in this.
Yeah, a couple of very familiar names. A field of 8 to go in it, which does mean that everyone will get 3 attempts. Just saw Noni Tapia a moment or two ago, who was 4th here in the shot put. We've got Madi Olad, who was bronze in the shot put. Baskakov who took silver in that. This, the discus, of course, so there's plenty of doubling up.
Men's discus throw, F11.
Complete visual impairment, one of those categories that is extremely difficult, surely. Baskakov, competing as a neutral, 35.65 his lifetime best. As I said, silver already at these games in the shot put. India fantastically represented. This man bronze in the Asian Para Games last year. Gangas. And here's a man who's been around a bit, Bill Marikovic. Bronze back in 2012 in London. He's taken silver in 2015 in Doha and 2017 in London at the Worlds. Petri Pizzo, he was fourth if you go back to 2013 in Leon. Oni Tapia fourth in the shot put, just missing out in the medal, the Italian. Bronze back in 2020 in Tokyo, silver in 2019 in Dubai. Sila of Cuba, silver in the Pan American Games last year. And Olan, who was bronze in that shot put, he was bronze back in 2019 in this event, silver last year, and he took silver in 2020 in Tokyo, as well as the Asian Para Games last year. Zambrano Farias of Venezuela, bronze medalist of the Pan American Games in Santiago in Chile, will go 8th of the field. So the introduction's done. They'll just take a bit of time to get themselves sorted out. The World and Championship records, if you're wondering. Alessandro Rodriguez de Silva holds the championship record set in Dubai in 2019. He also holds the world record set in Paris back in June 2022. So the guys of utter importance in the men's discus throw, F11, of course, the complete visual impairment category. Gauze patches, their masks on the athletes to just make sure that there can't be any tomfoolery. As we head across to the shot put, women's F64, and it is Zhao Yan.
She is the champion, and that is why. Gold last year in Paris. Yao Zhuan is looking in the mood again. We've seen Yang Yue go out to 11.15 to take the lead, but not for long. It's China 1 and 2 now, and our new leader is Yao Zhuan. 12 meters 11. A brilliant throw. Loads going on all over this stadium. That includes the women's T11. Complete visual impairments, which means guides are mandatory. 3 heats in this. The winner and the next fastest across the 3 will be progressing to the final. Liu Kuxing already with a couple of medals this week. Silvers in the 1 and the 4, the former 200 and 400 world champion. She's the reigning Paralympic champion and Asian Games champion. Linda Perez, the Pan Am bronze medalist, and the Paralympic 100 meters champion. So Linda Perez, in terms of Perez Lopez's, Lopez being the maternal name, it's very common because her twin sister Alejandro you'll know very well, seeing as she won 3 silvers last year in Paris.
Women's
and Linda is the Paralympic champion.
11, round 1, heat 1. In lane 7, representing Thailand.
Starting off in lane 7 for Thailand, the former 200 and 400 Asian Games champion Suneporn Tanamwong and guide Chaiwat Tungjamroon. In lane 5 for China, the reigning Paralympic Games champion over 200 and 400, Liu Kuxing, the 6-time world champion.
Representing Venezuela,
In lane 3 for Venezuela, The 100 meters Paralympic champion Linda Perez and her guide Alvaro Cassiani. And in lane 1 for Peru from Lima, semi-finalist in the Pan Ams, Melissa Baldero, and her guide Edith Ijescas.
200-meter T11, round 1, heat 1.
So only the winner will progress. Liu Kuxing, the world record holder, that set in Tianjin in 2019. She holds the championship record from Dubai 5 years ago. So Baldera in 1, Perez in 3, Liu in 5, Tan Am Wong in lane 7. We're in 200 T11. And the winner takes it all. A spot in the final anyway. Baldera, Perez, Liu, Tan Am Wong. They're away the first time of asking. It's Liu with a very, very solid start. Perez has gone well too. Tan Am Wong overtaken on the outside. It's Liu in 5, it's Perez in 3. Perez is close up, just trying to keep the rhythm right. Liu's lead, tightening. Perez, I thought, struggling a little bit with technique. Liu's going to take it. Perez second, and Tan Am Wong in 3rd with Baldera 4. And 25.14 is only 0.4 outside the championship record, which at the time was the 2nd fastest in history. That's a very good win for Liu Kuxing and a guy Chen Chengmin. Well, she had that brilliant games in Doha in 2015 where she won 4 golds, the 1, the 2, the 4, and the old 4x1 before the Universal Relay. And Perez, well, I thought there were technique issues there, but, well, good time for her as well.
It's great to see the longevity of Liu. And actually, it's interesting to see. So she's 32 and her guide is 20. And it just kind of made me smile that she's already burned through one guide and having to find a younger man to keep up with her. But it's great to see that 10 years on, she is still so dominant.
Now, just keep watching, keep watching. Well, Thailand are going to get disqualified. No doubt about it. The guide crossed the line first. Liu and Perez taking it, but the guide absolutely blinded through, and you see he's already disqualified. Baldera's been given 3rd. Oh, well. Men's long jump, T37. And Zesu trying to show some zest. This is really whizzed on. 5.65 is best in the 5th round. And trying to get his way into Paris for the Paralympic Games. Tenth in the long jump last year. This is an improvement because he will finish in 7th, and Gulbrandsen for Norway has ended in 8th spot. Nasri still leading 6.13, lifetime best, you saw that. Evangelista 2nd for Brazil, Camara's 3rd. Pateras in 4th with a lifetime best. All of the best efforts that you see on screen there you have seen live, including Apaya of Kenya, who is in 6th position with that lifetime best. 7th in the Paris World Championships last year. And again, he's taken off before the board, so he's given away at least 20 centimeters, I reckon about 25. And those marks have actually generally been quite good, to be honest.
He's had a fantastic competition opening up with a personal best, but my goodness, he's going to look back at that.
That's 50 centimeters at least.
The whiteboard itself is 20 centimeters, and he was away back on that. But for me, this is someone who is going to be so exciting to watch because he's so raw. And actually watching him jump, he reminds me of how my former training partner, Olivia Breen, used to jump several years ago. And just watching how Olivia Breen's technique has evolved, the same thing is going to happen, and he's one to look out for in the future.
Yeah, Olivia Breen not here this time, but wow, she's had a great career. Multi-medal, Commonwealth Games, 100 for Wales. That was a real crowning glory. Now, Samson Apayo there, that was 5.61. His lifetime best 5.73 in the opening round. So that's at least 40 centimetres. He went before the line. So he was in the air for 6.01. That's if he had got the board perfectly. Usually you don't. But wow, that was a great jump for Apayo. Pateras. 5.97. He's in 4th place. He's 3 centimetres off bronze. He's 4 centimetres off silver. Can he get beyond 6? Maybe. The only thing I can say is if it was measured like the T11s and the T12s, Apayo might have been in the medals there. Look, he's had a really good competition. He's in 6th. Lots to be encouraged about there. And Pateras likewise, a great set of marks.
You've made me smile there, because every long jumper will have a story about the jump that didn't count, or the jump that was too far behind the board.
5.81, Pateras in 4th, but he is not yet guaranteed to finish in 4th. Just like the fisherman, it was this big.
Go on. Just quickly, before we go across to the 200, what was your story in the long jump then about the jump that could have been?
Do you know what? I genuinely had the perfect jump.
Modesty. Modesty,
No,
Stephanie.
I genuinely feel like my biggest jump was one that counted. So that's a nice way to end on.
Yeah.
Women's 200
We'll come back to that when we're off air and see
round
later on.
1.
Women's 200 metres T11, complete visual impairment. The second heat of 3. Jerusha Gebel dos Santos, the big name to go in this one.
In lane
She's already
7,
taken gold over 100 here at these
Angola,
championships, has the Brazilian.
Juliana Glea.
On the outside lane though, it is Juliana Moko. Lifetime best of 26.91. Made her debut back in 2019 in Dubai. Salcedo Rodriguez of Colombia won 4 gold and 1 silver at the Youth Paralympic Games last year. Already won gold in the championship record in the 100 metres here. She's the reigning champion. It is Jerusha Gebel dos Santos of Brazil.
Women's 200 meter T11 round 1. Heat 2.
So only 3 to go in this.
Now.
The son of Mauritius does not start. First automatically going through as per the previous heat. And then the hot seat will be occupied. Heading into that last race, we'll know who's got to beat what. Moko in this will go in lane 7. Salcedo Rodriguez of Colombia goes in 5. And Brazil's Paralympic American Games champion, world champion, and the world champion already here over 100 metres with a championship record, Gebel dos Santos, will go in lane 3. World and championship record holder Lu Kukuin going through to the final in the previous heat. Great shot of that tether, which is so important to make sure it is maintained at all times. And as we saw in the last race, the guide must let the athlete go across the line beforehand, otherwise it will be disqualification. Away they go, Moko in 7, Salcedo Rodriguez in 5, Gebel dos Santos in lane 3. And it is Gebel dos Santos, the reigning champion, who moves very fast around that first 100 metres. But looking wonderfully composed is Salcedo Rodriguez in the middle. But it is the Brazilian Gebel dos Santos who blasts away with around 50 metres to go. She will take the victory in first place, 26.03 the time. Salcedo Rodriguez in second from Colombia, and just falling as she went across the line there, the Angolan Moko finishes in third position. and won't go any further. It's a season best time, by the way, for Gabriel dos Santos of Brazil. 26:03 is the official time, 26:62. It is for Salcedo Rodriguez, and on the ground there, just trying to catch her breath after having a fall at the end. It is the Angolan Moko. Confirmation of that in a moment or two's time, but we head back to the closing stages of the men's long jump T37 final.
We are just about done. Cardozo went to 4:35. Cameras, who had 6 dead in the opening round, has just gone to 6:01. Silver for Cameras for Greece. Bronze for Matheus Evangelista for Brazil. So, Mohamed Nasri, silver in the Southeast Asian Games last year, is the world champion. Ahead of his final jump. His first World Championship, and Mohamed Nasri is the world champion. He's broken his lifetime best by almost 40 centimetres. Nasri, the gold, Cameras, the silver, and Evangelista, the bronze. A stunning result. And Malaysia strike the gold. He wasn't even in the Asian Games last year. It's only his second championship after the Southeast Asian Games a year ago. And he takes the world crown. Cameras, the silver for Greece, his first championship medal. And Matheus Evangelista, bronze in the Paralympic Games, gets the World Championship bronze here. First time medalists in terms of World Championships all the way through. Remarkable. He just missed out last time, Evangelista. And Nasri is a new name. What a magnificent result. Liu Kujing takes to win in the heats of the women's 200 T11. She's through. Perez has to wait. And you saw the unfortunate disqualification there for Thailand's Sunimporn Thanamwong. So we've had 2. Now here's 3 out of 3. In this women's 200 meters T11, complete visual impairment. But before that, Yao, 12.50 in the women's shot put. F64 to lead convincingly the reigning champion. She is 1.30 m clear of Arel Middleton, who's emerged now for the United States. There's so much happening simultaneously. Stay with us until the end of the session to see all of the medal-winning throws. But Yao Zhuan, 12.30, going very, very well there.
Women's 200 meter.
Well, Middleton, very good. She's been in wheelchair
1.
tennis, a wheelchair tennis champion, and now hoping to be a medalist in the field here. But the track first. And in lane 7 for Angola.
Adelino Emiloide Fernandez.
Emiloide, Adelino, and a guide, Jose Haipapa, aiming for a first ever championship final.
Brazil.
The reigning 100 and 400 world champion for Brazil, Thalita Simplicio, and a guide, Felipe Velosa.
In lane 1, representing Cameroon, Gogu Minete Ilona. And the guide,
and in lane 1 for Cameroon, championship debut for Minette Ngugeg. There has been a redraw here. Ishatile does not start for Namibia in 3.
on the max.
World Championship, silver in the 4 last time and bronze here this week. In a 6th World Championship, so she doesn't start this. Perez, by the way, 25.68 is the next fastest time right now. That was in the first heat. The Paralympic champion is hanging on as 25.68. So it's Ngueg of Cameroon in 1. Her guide is Frederick Fuda, by the way. Frederick Fuda in Soe. Simplicio in 5 for Brazil, and Emeloid Adelino in 7.
Stay.
Soe first time. Solid start by Talita Simplicio de Silva, the 3-time world champion. She's won world golds in 3 world championships in a row now, including here in the 100, and looking good in the 2. Simplicio is on the way. Adelino in 2nd place. Ngueg is forcing her through all the way, but Simplicio is going to take it, and it's going to be fast in 25.69. And 2nd is Adelino, 3rd is Ngueg. I think all the guides are okay. 25.68 is exactly the same time as Perez had as the next fastest, the fastest loser. So Linda Perez is in the final, and so too is Talita Simplicio de Silva. She aims for a 2nd gold of the week. She has not won golds on the double in any major championship before, and the oddity is in the Pan Ams, Simplicio all-time has won 6 silvers and nothing else. Well, her name is Talita Simplicio de Silva. But she's into the final here. Adelino in 2nd.
It was a straightforward qualification for Simplicio de Silva. And it's hard sometimes when you come into a heat and you know that you are 2 to 3 seconds faster than the next person, and you know you're going to have a clear qualification. But what she's done, I think, is use this as a bit of a rehearsal. There's no point in practicing running slow. She knows she's going to face stiffer competition in that final.
Simplicio, it was. That's a good competitive time as well, 25.68. Mohamed Nazmi Nasri in his global debut, only his 2nd championship full stop. Lifetime best, 6.13, wins the men's long jump T37. Cameras the silver for Greece, and Evangelista the bronze for Brazil. What a sensational result for Mohamed Nazmi Nasri. He's only 21 years old, and he had only previously competed in the Southeast Asian Games last year. Talita Simplicio winning the 3rd heat of the women's 200 metres, 25.68. Adelino in 2nd of Angola. She's not a neutral athlete.
And the one before that, Rosa Geber dos Santos going through in a season best as the qualifier. Despite a lifetime best for Salcedo, she misses out.
Lu Kujing, the fastest qualifier. Linda Perez, actually, as the fastest loser, euphemistically, had the joint 2nd fastest time.
So we'll move back to the field events, and everything is moving very, very quickly indeed. There's the women's shot put, F64. Ida Nessa of Norway. Lifetime best of 10.0. 9.69 her best to date in this one. And she sits in 7th. She did make it through to the final 8 competitors, who are now narrowed down to Tade's last 3 attempts. So 9.70, there is a slight improvement for Nessa by 1 centimetre. She goes ahead of Chibas, despite Chibas having the exact same. She has 1 foul in her name. Nouche That's out there near the 11-metre mark. That's a big one. 10:04 already before that.
It should be pointed out, she is one of the only
Well, that's a world record, by the way. 10:64, a world record in her category, which is absolutely fantastic.
She is an F64, of course, is Nouche, so it was a big throw. Before that, 9:95 was her lifetime best. Wagner of Germany. Now, Wagner was a lifetime best of 9:76. She was 7th in this event last year. She has smashed the lifetime best here. And 10:08 now it is for Lisa Martin Wagner. Yang Yu, bronze medalist in the discus. 11:15 with her opener. That won't be an improvement. She'll stay in 3rd position.
So just to note what I was going to say about Alexandra Nouchette of France, she actually is a T63. So she's one of the athletes with an above-knee amputation competing in this event against women with a below-knee amputation, and that's why you saw that world record mark beside her name.
Yeah, just in case you're new to parasport, it can be a little bit confusing. You do have a mixture of athletes sometimes in events to make sure that there is a final that does go ahead, and this is one of them. So Middleton, and that's out over the 11-metre mark for Ariel Middleton. This might be up there near the 11:21 she threw with her 2nd attempt. 16 years of age. And that is quite some throwing for someone so inexperienced.
And a wheelchair tennis state champion as well, multi-talented, and look at that.
11:39, it is an improvement. She does go better on her lifetime best. She's still 2nd behind this lady, Yao of China. So the reigning champion, the Asian Para Games champion, she took gold in the discus on the 3rd day of competition here, and she's heading for gold in the shot put as well. Yao of China. 13.14. Her lifetime best. That is a world record in the F44 category. So 12.50. It stays for Yao. That's Mikhailo Plata. Heads out for her. Next throw. And that one more than likely won't be an improvement. It's not. So Mikado Plateau is the 8th of 8 at the moment after the field was narrowed down. She took a silver in the discus. At this stage, she's going to have to come up with something quite dramatic to come up with a medal in the shot put. De Las Heras, who was 6th last year, the Cuban. That's out over the 9-metre mark. 10:19 her lifetime best, so she's got some work to do. 9:70 her best to date. She's some throw, isn't she? Yeah, one.
Just to put into context for anyone who's a shot put fan, the women are throwing the 4-kilogram shot put. That is the same weight as the women at the Olympics.
And we're rocketing through this as well. Eden Nessa's back out for her 5th attempt. So she's the 3rd to go in the athletes of attempts-wise in the 5th go at this. So 5 more to go after Eden Nessa, and then we'll be into the final round throws. And at the moment, it's looking like it's almost nailed on for Yao Wan at the top, unless something absolutely incredible happens. She'll make it back-to-back gold medals, and she'll add to the discus gold she's already picked up. Nessa, 9:66 with her 5th attempt, and she'll stay as she is in 6th position.
Yeah, she's from Terving IL, Bærum outside Oslo. And they do 2 sports in that club, athletics and orienteering. Nuche after that world record in the previous round of 10.64. T63, and she's only half a metre outside the top 3. So if she can get another half metre on, that might be an improvement to the 10.64. She will not go into the top 3 for now, but she's certainly not a huge distance away. Actually, they're blitzing through this as well. Very, very quickly. 10.23. Lisa Martin Wagner now for Germany. Well, she's in 5th, a no throw in the previous round. And this F64. Again, that's heading towards 11 metres. That will be an improvement now. You have to go beyond 11 metres for a medal in this right now. Certainly, it looks like it will be an improvement on her lifetime best. And she's a lot to be happy about because that is 10 metres 10. An improvement by 2 centimetres. Yang Yue. Bronze in 2017 in London. Behind Yao Juan and Frederica Koleski, who took the gold for Germany. That's beyond 11 metres. That will be an improvement. 11.26 is a season's best by 11 centimetres. Now, Arelle Middleton, 16 years old, she's thrown a lifetime best. An able-bodied competition last year as a 15-year-old. In the California State Championship, she threw 12.02, which was further than the World Championship winning throw. And look at that! That's a brilliant one above 11 metres. So the US Paralympic team rang up and said, does she qualify? We need her now. She's also in wheelchair tennis, wheelchair basketball. Her mother is a basketball coach, as well as a French teacher in a different school, Sandra Van Embrix. She still goes to high school, Arelle, Los Osos High School, and she's the American Field Athlete of the Year. And 11.84 increases the lifetime best. And she is within 75 centimetres of our leader, the world champion, Yao Juan. And she has thrown that beyond 11 metres. Strongly too. The defending champion, the multi-world champion. And everything so far beyond 12 metres for her, including that. It's not an improvement. 12.24, but each of her 5 throws would be good enough for gold right now. On we go. The Pan Am discus champion, Osiris Machado. That's bouncing around 9 metres. And that will not be an improvement for her. She's thrown 9.49. And she's elected to take it. It's 9.03. Navarra Stella Harris. 4th in the discus in the Pan Ams. 9.70 she's gone out to today. She's a 10-metre thrower. 10.19 her lifetime best earlier this year. And that's around 10 metres. is actually her best of the day, 9.76. And she is in 6th spot above Ida Nessa, the 2018 European champion from that small but strong, 10-strong Norwegian squad. They've had a very busy physio. Fanku's had to look after all of them this week. Good set of marks that by Nessa, actually. Heading out towards 10 metres, which is a lifetime best full stop. So anything above 9.70, and she will, anything above 9.76, and she goes above Della Harris. 9.70 is the mark, 9.55, she finishes in 7th place for Norway. They have 2 bronzes so far. Sverd in the long jump, his first ever championship medal, and Kashifali too.
So the only track final of the morning session, it is the men's 100 metres T36. Now, in case you were worried, in the evening session, we'll have 11 track finals. So we'll make up for it then. There will be back-to-back, wall-to-wall, whichever you want to say, track finals in the evening session. But this is the only one of the morning, and it contains the reigning Paralympic champion, Deng Pai Cheng. There he is. No James Turner in this, who is the World Championship record holder. Turner, he only ran in the 400 metres at these championships, picking up a silver, so he doesn't go in this. That's our field. 8 to go. But it is still a high-class quality field. Tursnov, who you saw, is the reigning Paralympic long jump champion. Yifei Yang. He's won silver at the Asian Para Games and at Rio, Dubai. Yang last won a gold back in 2017 at the London Championships. So there are medalists aplenty across the field here. There'll be no shortage of class when it comes to the actual event.
Men's 100 meter T36 final. In lane 2.
So in lane 2,
Brazil,
it is Almeida Ramos, who went through as one of the fastest lucky losers.
In lane 3,
Silver in the Pan American Games last year. Here's a man to look out for, Mohamed Puzi of Malaysia, season best in his heat.
Lane 4, representing
former Paralympic
Algeria,
champion.
Didan Mokhtar.
Mokhtar Didan of Algeria equaled his season best in his heat.
In lane 5,
He was silver in this event last year. Yang Yifei, silver at the Asian Para Games. He was a world champion for this event back in 2017.
In lane 6,
Evgeny Tursunov,
representing
reigning Paralympic long jump champion.
Evgeny.
He's also a silver medalist in this event back in Doha in 2015.
In lane 7,
The Paralympic champion,
representing
Deng Pai
People's
Cheng.
Republic of China.
Season best hit in his win. He's also the Asian champion.
In lane 8, representing Japan.
Matsumoto Takuno, bronze in the Asian Games. 4th here at these championships in the 400 metres.
In lane 9,
And another lucky loser, Thalagia, took bronze in the 400 metres at these championships. He will go out in lane 9. So Kobe 2024 is the venue, the Para Athletics World Championships. It's day 7 of 9. It is session number 13, and it is the men's 100 metres T36 coordination impairment category, medium coordination impairment final. Deng, the Paralympic champion, going in lane 7.
Set.
Get away. There was a bit of a movement, I thought, there as well. Yeah, lane 2, they've been asked to stop. Oh, Well, one is still going. So Yang Yifei, around the 50-metre mark, has finally realised the race has been stopped. There was you could just see out the corner of your eye a slight movement. We'll get a replay in a moment or two's time, but very difficult for those athletes. They went away. We'll get a look at it here and we'll be able to see. Yeah, it was lane 2 by the looks of things, Almeida Ramos. But also there was a movement out wide by the standing athlete from Algeria, Thalagia, as well. But he sort of repositioned, and then on the inside lane in lane 2, Almeida Ramos of Brazil made a movement as well. So this will be one for the judges.
Gentlemen,
they've been
can we have you behind the line, please?
very busy this week, haven't they, the officials?
Starters assistants, please, can you show a green card?
Well, there you go, a green card. I think what happened was, first of all, I thought Thalagia moved on the outside, slightly stood up somewhat,
Line
because
5,
this is
can
the
we go behind the line?
coordination impairment category. Now, poor old Yang Yifei is doing his best in getting back there and taking as much time as he can, because he was the last of the athletes at about the 3rd crack of the gun to then pull up around the 50-metre mark. So how much is that going to take out of him, Steph, as we look ahead to this race now?
That's tough. I was watching that. I would have an even slower saunter back if that was me, but let's hope he can refocus and get that out of his head.
Yeah, that's a hard one to really recover from. But anyway, we're going to go again. Almeida Ramos in 2, Mohamed Pouzi in 3, Didan in 4, Yang, who's taken his time to get back, will go in 5, Tursunov in 6, Deng in 7, Matsumoto in 8, and Thalagia in lane 9. Now, Thalagia, the only one of the athletes who opts for a standing start.
Set.
Yeah, this time no issues at all. They get away. And the reigning champion, Deng Paicheng, is very fast, but in the middle of that man who ran a distance before Yang, but it is Deng who's going to take it. Well, can Yang hang on for second? Well, that's a tight one. Yang might have just got it ahead of Didan. 11.95 is the time for Deng Paicheng. Season best for him. He retains or takes the World Championship to add to his Paralympic Championship, which he'll look to retain later in the year. But he did it very, very strong indeed, did Deng. And, well, that's a tight one in the middle to try and work that one out. That is a photo for 3 of them. Yang has been given second place in 12.35, and Didan has taken 3rd place of Algeria. Matsumoto did his best to get there way out in lane 8. But as I called it that first time, it was that way, Yang and Didan, but a season best for Deng. So Yang didn't pay the price too much for running that first 50 metres in the opening one that had to be brought back. He takes that silver medal to add to his silver from the Asian Para Games. He's picked up 3 silvers before this at major championships. You can make that 4 now. And the man Deng Paicheng, 11.95 the time in Algeria through Didan, who equalled his season best in the heat. He was a silver medalist last year. This time he takes the bronze.
Now, I'll start with Yang. I'm so pleased for Yang because he had such a long run out, and the thing I was nervous about is he had a lot of strapping on that leg, as did his teammate Deng. The thing is, there's a theory where you almost want to prime your system, and a lot of athletes before this race would have done a couple of hard sprints just to prime that nervous system. Now, typically, you would take a bit of a wait in between, but I'm so pleased to see that Yang got the bronze medal. Now, Deng also had a lot of strapping. You could see him grabbing his hamstring at the end, and look at that finish. It is about where the torso lies, where the torso crosses the line, and that was a perfectly timed dip from Yang.
Yeah, you can see some of them tightening up towards the end there. This is the coordination impairment category, medium coordination impairment, and you worry that when they dip across the line that someone is going to have a fall. No one did. Deng Paicheng, confirmation, season best, 11.95, takes the gold medal for China. Deng takes it. Yang makes it to China 1-2, and Didan picks up the bronze medal after getting a silver in Paris last year. He's again on the podium, the Algerian.
Job done for Yao Chuan in the women's F64 shot put. She claims her 8th World Championship title. Did the double in the shot and the discus in 2015. Second attempt here for Yao Chuan, leading in the opening round, 12 meters 11. It's going further out to 12 meters 50. And the defending champion, who's claimed gold now in 5 World Championships in a row. Good smattering of silvers too. (12 meters 50). An unbeatable mark. So the defending champion does it again. Yao Jian, the gold for China. 16-year-old high schooler Arel Middleton, silver for the United States. And Yang Wei, bronze for China. That world record for Niche in 4th in the T63 category. Lifetime best for Jana van der Merwe as well. That's something for you in Los Osos High School to get excited about. In Rancho Cucamonga in Southern California. It never rains in Southern California.
Doesn't rain in Kobe either at the moment.
Women's 400 meters T54 now. An all-time great, holding the world record in that. Tatiana McFadden will have a full diary this year again, you would imagine. So 2 heats going in this. It's the top 3 to go through. We've got the 5,000 meters champion from this week, reigning Asian Games champion Tian Yuan. So Tian Yuan in 5. Pan Am champion over 8, Elena dos Rochas Santos. Melanie Woods for Great Britain as well. Brandy Perrine, she goes by her 3rd name there. What a championships for Mauritius. Hey, we can say that for this year and last year. And Melanie Woods of Glasgow, Scotland,
Women's
and Great Britain.
T54 round
So
1,
6th in this. We start off in lane 9, 4th in the Asian Games last year in the 100 and the 400 for Thailand.
In lane 9,
Techene
representing Thailand,
Duangin.
Duangin Techene.
In lane 8 for Switzerland, the 2016 and 2018 400 meters European champion. In her 6th Worlds, it's Alexandra Kelbling. In lane 7 for Mauritius, who are celebrating their first ever world gold here. 4th in the 100 meters here, it is Brandy Perrine. In lane 6 for Great Britain, 4th in the Commonwealth Games of Birmingham, 4th in the 1500 meters here, coached by Roger Harkins of Red Star AC. It's Melanie Woods. In lane 5 for China, the Asian Games champion over 400 and 800, 4 medals in that. Tian Yuan has already won 3 medals this week. And in lane 4 for Brazil, the 800 meters Pan Am champion, 4 medals last year in Santiago for Elena dos Santos.
T54
Top 3 to go through, plus the next 2 fastest. T54, the fastest wheelchair racers, and with a smattering of the biggest names not here. Smattering of the biggest names are here. It's opened up. So away first time to Santos, Tian, Woods, Perrine, Helbling and Duangin. Only Tian and Helbling have won golds in their career, along with Dos Santos, of course. Great start by Brandy Perrine, taking inspiration from Noemi Alphonse, the brilliant success in the 100 metres last night, the first ever Mauritian World Para-Athletics gold. Woods is moving up now for Great Britain. Tian in second, Helbling third. Brandy Perrine down in fourth. Dos Santos trying to fight back, but Melanie Woods has fought back well. At Edinburgh University, she's been qualified in PE, and she's giving a good exhibition of it here. Woods leading the way. Tian in second place, and Perrine fighting back in third. 54.77, Mel Woods takes it. Tian second. Brandy Perrine in third for Mauritius, and that was a good trot out. 54.77 the winning time. She's gone under 54 for the first time this season. Tian through, and Brandy Perrine in third as well. Helbling in fourth will have to wait. 54.53. 57.53 for Helbling. 54.77 for Woods, and for the Glaswegian, nice win.
I'm so pleased for Melanie Woods. We'll come back to that after to do the analysis.
Yeah, there's three in this field. Klaudia Malashevska for Poland, we've seen. This is Akhmatova of Uzbekistan in this women's shot put F35. Wang Jun has had her introduction, so here's Klaudia Malashevska again. Wang Jun is right alongside the world record holder from taking gold in Rio in the 2016 Paralympic Games. We had brilliant crowds there. It was at every athletic session for Olympics and Paralympics bar one, and on many nights the Paralympic crowds were bigger than the Olympics. Klaudia Malashevska, 8.75, a lifetime best this year for Poland. I think everybody's been introduced twice. So Malashevska, Akhmatova and Wang Jun are all here. And Wang Jun we've already seen this week as we skip over to the discus. A new event, men's discus F11 complete. Visual impairment.
More than three going in this one as well. Field of 8 in this one. And as Will Downing just said, it is the complete visual impairment. A couple of experienced characters in this, as well as some youth as well. That's Gangas, who's the Asian Para Games bronze medalist. 34.70 with his opening attempt. He sits in fourth position at the moment. He's just outside the medals by a few meters or so. Bill Marinkovic of Austria. Season best for him at 37.82. Marinkovic, he seems to have been around for years. He was a bronze medalist back in London 2012. He's won a couple of silvers in 2015 and 17 as well. He's currently heading for another bronze here. He has some to make up, though. He's around 4.5 meters or so off Olad in the silver medal. Oni Tapia currently in the gold medal position. He just missed out on a medal in the shot put, did Oni Tapia. We'll see him again in a moment or two, but here goes Bill Marinkovic of Austria. Well, that one's just managed to stay inside the quadrant. It's been given the white flag. Always amazed at the F11 categories in the throwing, that the athletes know as soon as they let go of it as well that they may not be able to see it, but they know whether it's actually a decent throw or not. Wasn't much emotion shown from Marinkovic then. Lifetime best of 40.96 for him. 26.75, that one there. So, apart from the foul, his worst attempt so far. There's Olad, who's taken bronze in the shot put here already. He was bronze in this back in Dubai in 2019. He was a silver medalist last year in Paris. He's in the silver medal position again. And he'll stay in the silver medal position at the moment. Didn't get out of the netting. And if you ever want to see an event in able-bodied sport where it can all go wrong and go into the netting, a hammer throw. There is some physics involved in that one. Opening heat of the women's 400 metres T54, confirmation of that result.
Yeah, Melanie Woods taking it, 54.77. She's on the way through.
And the reason we're confirming that one is because we're about to head on to heat number 2. So Melanie Woods is definitely through to the final. We are currently waiting for this one, and then we'll find out who the winner will be, and the next 2 fastest will go through. So there are 6 scheduled to go in this one. All 6 will be
Women's 400-meter T54, round
heading out in it as well,
Heat 2.
including Naomi Alphonse, who has claimed gold here in the 100 metres already. Mauritius's first ever world title. Anissa Abdullah, 19 years of age, and her first major championship goes in lane 9 for Norway. There is Naomi Alphonse. She took bronze in this one last year in Paris. Zhu Zhequan, silver here in the 800, silver here in the 100. Now she goes in the 400 heats. Merle Menya of Germany, who's a gold medalist here in the 800, finished second in the 5,000 metres. She's the European champion. Licia Musinelli of Switzerland, bronze in the 100, 23 years of age. What a performance that was. And Arataya Premhol of Thailand, 16 years of age, and her first major championships.
54, round 1, heat 2 starts now.
Well, you heard the man. Heat number 2 starts now.
On your mark.
Abdullah in 9, Alphonse in 8, Zhu in 7, Menya in 6, Miss Nelly in 5, and Premhol goes in lane 4.
Set.
So it is the first 3 that automatically qualify through, then the next 2 fastest will advance into the final, and looking very strong already in this opening 100 metres is Alphonse, who's gone out, and also Zhu of China has gone with them. So it's the 2 of them out in front, and Zhu is about to head past Naomi Alphonse in the back straight with around 250 to go, and moves up into first position. So Alphonse in second, and then further inside, it's Musinelli who's doing pretty well also, as they round the bend into the last 100 metres. It is Zhu, Alphonse and Musinelli in that order, looking like the top 3 who are going to go through in the automatic qualification positions. Zhu is just winding it down as she heads into the last 50 metres. Alphonse as well, they realise they're there. Musinelli's going to pick up the 3rd place position, and it is Menya who comes across in 4th, followed by Premhol and Abdullah on the outside in 5th and 6th respectively. But it is Zhu in a season best 54.83 for her, Alphonse 55.18, Musinelli 56.84. They go through as the automatic qualifiers. So a quite handy race for all 3 of them, especially the front 2. Menya comes through in the 4th spot behind Musinelli. 19 years of age, Merle Menya, we mustn't forget that as well. Doesn't turn 20 until August. And you saw the 2 winners, Zhu and Alphonse, just getting away very, very quick and just holding on to their pace.
I think that's going to be the challenge for Great Britain's Melanie Woods. So Melanie Woods, she doesn't start quite as fast as these 2, but she does have a great top speed and she does have great endurance. The problem is if Alphonse and Zhu get away too far at the start, even if she has the same top speed of them at the end, she's still going to find herself back those 2 to 3 meters. So we will have quite an interesting contest in that final.
Yeah, that'll be one to see. And talking of one to see, the men's F11 discus Still goes on in front of those school children over there, and they're very much enjoying themselves, the local school children who have been piling in to watch events in the morning sessions. And that eastern side over there, that stand is being worked very hard because there are loads of classes of kids from different schools. We see them after the opening session down at the train station, and they are absolutely loving life, coming down to watch some para-athletics. Zambrano Farias of Venezuela, he's in 5th position. 34-38 for him in his 3rd attempt. This, his final throw. And that is a foul. I think you saw the discus there hit the side netting and the bars. So disappointment for Zambrano Farias, and he'll finish in 5th position.
We've seen 2 fouls now in quite quick succession, and it's so important to have a look at that complex movement that they're having to do without any proprioceptive feedback from their eyes, to keep track of where you are in space and, 1, release the discus perfectly, but 2, in the perfect orientation. I think it's so difficult for people with sight to understand what an athletic feat that is.
So the Venezuelan we just saw, who was a bronze medalist last year at the Pan American Games, he will stay in 5th position. Gangas of India is currently in 4th position, 34.70 with his opening throw, but he is 3 meters and 12 centimeters behind Bill Marinkovic, who's in the bronze medal position. Now Gangas's lifetime best is 38.07. If he threw that, he'd be up into bronze. But he won't be. And I think what you heard in the background there might have been Bill Marinkovic realising that he's in the medals. So Gangas doesn't get up into the medals as he did in the Asian Para Games when he took a bronze. He'll finish in 4th position. So no joy for India, who are having a marvellous championships in this one. So our top 3 are set in stone. The only question is, what is the order going to be? Marinkovic is currently in that bronze medal position. At the top, Marty Olad, who won bronze here in the shot put, is only 40 centimetres behind Oni Tapia, who missed out in the shot put, finishing in 4th position. So Tapia, who took bronze in the Paralympics in 2020, he was silver in 2019. He's currently at the top of the pile, looking to pick up a gold. It would be his first major championship gold in the Worlds or Para Games. Marinkovic has been there before. He's picked up bronze and silver medals. He's going to get at least a bronze medal here. "51 years of age." That will be a foul to finish off on for Bill Marinkovic of Austria. So he claims a bronze medal. He's happy with it. He has 2 silvers in World Championships. He can add a bronze to that now in 2024 in Kobe in Japan. And he shows they're still fighting the old dog yet. Austria claimed the bronze through Marinkovic. Olad of Iran won bronze in 2019 in Dubai. Silver medalist last year in Paris. It was also a silver medalist at both the 2020 Paralympics and also the Pan American Games last year in Santiago in Chile. He's 40 centimetres shy of the man in first place, Oni Tapia of Italy. And that one there, it won't be far enough. So Oni Tapia will take the gold medal for Italy. There he is. No matter what happens in his final throw, Oni Tapia will be the men's discus throw F11 champion. 42.76 his mark at the moment. Marty Olad Doesn't go any further. And it will be goal for Italy. Oni Tapia. He's had 3 fouls so far out of his 5 attempts. 42.76 in throw number 3. It just shows you, doesn't it, how this competition can change depending on whether you've got fouls or not. It's been given a red flag after initially being given a white. It is a red, but it won't matter because Oni Tapia is the champion in the men's discus throw F11 as we head back to the track. Women's 400 metres, T38.
Yes, these are the strongest, if you like, of the coordination impairment athletes. Standing mild symmetry, good power, speed and control. We have a lot of that in this. Lindy Av, the Paralympic champion. Just to run through who we have, we've got Erica Esteban of Guatemala in 4. Cariartada, Colombia in 5, the Pan Am discus champion, world bronze in this. Lindy Av, the Paralympic champion in 6 for Germany. European gold, formerly Paralympic champ, world silvers in 7 for China, Zino Chen, championship debut. 8, Yuka Takamatsu of Japan, and 9, Katerina Guimaraes. She finished 3rd in the 200 metres final here. Pan Am silver in the long jump, bronze in the 1, bronze in the 4. And she's an author as well, as you remember from last night. It's Lindy Av who's taken it away well. Chen in 2nd spot, Takamatsu in 3rd currently. Helped Japan win gold in the universal relay last year when half the field were disqualified in the semi-final and the final. They took big advantages. Guimaraes not doing too badly at the moment, I have to say. Lots of support for Takamatsu of Japan, who's been a world champion previously. But it's Lindy Av taking them out. Going well in lane 6. And also alongside it, Chen Zimo, 4th in the long jump here and 5th in the 100 on a championship debut. Luca Eckler won the gold in this last year. Rhiannon Clark of Australia was in 2nd. And in this heat, with the top 3 to go through, it is Chen who will take it ahead of Lindy Av. And Cariartada will go through in 3rd spots. 1:02.24 the winning time. And Katerina Guimaraes is in 4th spot. She's just nipped in ahead of Takamatsu on the line to take 4th. So she is in that fastest loser spot, the hot seat, next fastest. And Lindy Av took her way through very well. The Greifswald athlete from HSG Universitat. Guimaraes there, lifetime best. 1:07.27. She has written the Death Garden books, and her hopes in this are not yet in the Death Garden.
Well, no surprise there for our top 3 qualifiers, but I was watching Guimaraes run and just thinking she must be so tired. We had a 200-meter final last night, women's T38, and you can imagine with a late final and an early morning, she ran that PB on not very much sleep. And just a note on why we only had 3 women in the 200 versus 2 heats in the 400 here. It's simply because the 200 meters is not a Paris event. Most women choosing to focus on the 400.
Yeah, Chen overtaking Ave there towards the line with Hurtado in 3rd. And those are the 3 who will go through. And Guimaraes, well, 1:07.27. She's in that hot seat for now. Oh, the crowd are loving this. Oni Tapia is loving this because this is very much his lap of honour.
It's great to see, isn't it? Oni Tapia, season best, 42.76. Now, these school children have come in. Greg Stewart went over there yesterday and saw the kids over there. And Oni Tapia is giving them some time over there. They've come in here in their droves. There's thousands of them this week that have come in. And Oni Tapia is going around with his guide and giving them all a bit of a wave. It's great to see the guide helping out. And this is Oni Tapia with his victorious throw. Well over the 40-metre mark for that season best. It's great to see he's over there just enjoying the fact that there's so many people who have come to watch him. He might not be able to see them.
Oh,
but
he's doing a pat cash.
they can see him, and they're absolutely loving it. This is what you want to see. Engagement with the fans. Thanking them for coming out. It's super to see, and those kids will remember this for a long, long time. In years to come, they'll be looking back and telling their friends and family that they were there when Oni Tapia jumped over the balcony into the stand and said hello. So there is the second heat in the women's 400 metres T54. Zhu, Naomi Alphonse and Musinelli qualifying. Menya going through as the lucky loser. And that's how it looks. Menya and Helbling going through as the fastest qualifiers after the automatic ones. And that will be a decent final to look forward to.
Hey, they've given us a lot of colour, a lot of noise here. Long may it continue.
Well, we have one more track race for the morning. It is the women's 400 metres T38, the second of the heats. There are 5 due to go in this one. And all 5 have lined up. Ali Smith of Great Britain, who took 7th in the 100 metres here. She was a bronze medalist back in 2021 at the European Championships in Bydgoszcz in Poland. She'll go from lane 8.
Representing Great Britain, Smith Ali.
In case you're wondering with the Japanese naming conventions, by the way, when she's announced as Smith Ali, they always name in Japan the surname, what we would think is always the first name to be announced. So it would be Takamura Ayumi for the Japanese athlete, is how it is pronounced. She was 5th in 2019 in Dubai, and this
representing Colombia, Paralympic MKT.
Karen Palameke of Colombia, bronze in the long jump here, gold medalist in the 200. She's now going in the 4. Margarita Goncharova, silver in the long jump already, silver in the 2021 Europeans, and silver in the Paralympics.
Berg,
Vilma Berg, 7th in the long jump from Finland, will go in the 400 metres T38 in lane 4.
Round 1, heat 2 starts now.
Indeed it does. So Gimarish, 107.27. And Takamatsu, 107.71. The hot seat positions as far as the lucky losers are concerned. Berg in 4, Goncharova in 5, Palameke in 6, Takamura in 7, and Smith goes in lane 8. Away they go. It is the first 3 who automatically qualify through. Vilma Berg already being left off the back. She'll have some work to do if she's to try and get herself back into position. Karen Palameke, though, already moved up on the outside of Takamura. And Goncharova as well is working hard down that second 200 metres. So they're halfway through the women's 400 metres T38, second heat to go in this one. The first 3 will automatically qualify through. It is Goncharova and Palameke who are looking very strong. And on the outside there, Ali Smith of Great Britain, seemingly heading for that 3rd automatic qualification position. Palameke leads with Goncharova behind, and Smith out in 3rd position. They are looking very comfortable indeed as far as going across the line. Goncharova came a bit quicker in that last 50 metres, but it's going to be Palameke who takes it in a time of 1:00.88. Goncharova in 2nd, Smith in 3rd, and then it is Takamura followed by Berg in 4th and 5th position. So Palameke 100.88. 101.97 for Goncharova in second position, and Smith 103.56 for her. And then we'll just have to see what the situation is as far as the qualifiers goes. But Goncharova and Palameke went out very quick there, Steph, and just really did it simply in the second half of the race.
Well, Palameke came in with a personal best of 1:08. And I kind of looked at that and compared it to her 200-meter time from last night, 25.89. You knew she was going to run fast. So I thought it was a great race from Ali Smith. She ran a great time, but just knowing not to be too shocked if someone else goes up. I've got, as long as I'm in the top 3 spots, I'll get into that final. Don't need to give too much. Ali Smith's an accountant. She's good with numbers. That was a great qualifier from our team captain. Sorry, I say our team captain, from Great Britain's team captain.
We knew what you meant. You can do your best too, Steph.
Third place, Great Britain's Ali Smith also.
Great to see the signs coming out. Look at that crowd on the far side there, all those school children in, lapping up the atmosphere and creating some atmosphere as well. But yeah, wasn't a really fast race that didn't look from Palameke, but she wasn't that far outside Luca Eckler's world record. So here's the women's shot put, F57. Dalal with a world record taking the victory there. Zhu with a season best taking silver, and Nassima Saifi with the bronze medal.
So simmering away at the start of the 200 meters. Nassima Saifi on her first attempt. 10 meters, 31, moving up into the bronze medal position. She'd had a long wait. Now, Saifi finished third at the World Championships last year, and it is third again for her. Zuman was second at last year's World Championships. She was also second at the Tokyo Paralympics. And out near to that 11-meter mark. She, on her 5th attempt, 10 meters, 93. She already finished third in the discus throw earlier this week and is now taking a silver medal home. But it was Sophia Jalal who had the final word. She came in as a world record holder, and she ended up smashing her own world record. We've had 2 world records in both shot puts this morning, and you can see what that meant to her. She came in as a reigning champion. She set the championship record last year, and she smashed it here along with the world record. Jalal wins the women's shot put. Zhu from China, second. And a bronze also for Algeria. Several season's bests to go along with our medalists.
Women's shot put, F64, gold here going to Yao Zhuan of China yet again. Around Middleton in the United States, the silver, and Yang Yuwei, the bronze for China. Alexandra Nouchet, equal world record for her category. The T63, Jana van der Merwe with lifetime best in 9th for South Africa. So, Yang Yuwei, silver in the discus in the 2008 Paralympic Games in Beijing. Since then, she has medaled twice in 2015, twice in 2017 at the World Championships. This her first global medal since then, 7 years on, 11.26, and that to take the bronze. Well, Yang Yuwei won that Beijing medal. Arelle Middleton was 7 months old. She won the Californian shot put title at schools level last year at the age of 15 with a longer throw than the one that won the world title. She's come into para athletics, and at the age of 16 the high schooler from Los Osos High School, wins a silver. 11.84, a new lifetime best. What an astonishing arrival for the debutante. This woman has been here before and done it before and won it before. Her 8th world title, Yao Chuan wins the women's shot for a 3rd world championship in a row. 12 meters 50, the winning mark. Strong throwing again from Yao Chuan. She's the world record holder. That set in taking gold in Doha back in 2015. It is her 4th shot world title for Yao Chuan. R.L. Middleton, the silver for the United States. Yang Wei, the bronze for China. Alexandra Nouchet with that world record in the T63 in 4th. Eden Nessa in 7th, Machado 8th. And for Fiji, Fatuna Solo and Selena Xiao as well. Welcome aboard. And to all of you as well, we'll race you for the train after. Well, they brought their lunches in, they're here all day.
My hand is sore from the high fives I gave out the other day.
So Chen Zimo takes the women's 400 T38, the opening heat ahead of Lindy Alv of Germany and Katia Hurtado of Colombia, who we've already seen in the discus. Katerina Grimarish, lifetime best, going through along with Yuka of Japan.
In the second heat, Palameke, Goncharova and Ali Smith going through, slightly slower towards the tail end of that, hence the two from the first heat going through as the qualifiers, Skimaresh and Yakamatsu. That promises to be a high-quality final, that one.
Men's long jump T37, Mohammed Nazmi Nazri made his para-athletics debut in the Southeast Asian Games last year, the ASEAN Para Games, and here he is, world debut, world gold. Matias Evangelista of Brazil. Silver in 2019 in Dubai, bronze in Tokyo at the last Paralympic Games, and a really strong effort here reasonably early on in the competition. Konstantinos Kamaras, 5th in the last European long jump 2 years ago, 9th in the World Championships. Door opening up a lot for him. Good set of marks as well, going out to 6:01. He matched Evangelista. And in terms of countback, Evangelista's second best, 5.99. Kamaras, his second best, 6 meters. Lot to celebrate at the end. And a lot to celebrate for this man. Coming into it for Malaysia, with a lifetime best set this year of 5.74. Silver in the Southeast Asian Games last year. Twice going out to 6 meters. This is first attempt. 6 meters 13 and a new lifetime best. An astonishing arrival. One of many amazing debutantes. 6.13, very competitive. So here's a new name for Paris for the Paralympic Games. His flag may be smaller than everyone else's, but the medal is much bigger. Nazri the gold for Malaysia, lifetime best 6.13. Kamaras the silver for Greece, on countback by 1 centimetre. Evangelista, bronze for Brazil. Pitaris, 4th, only by 4 centimetres. Now, there's still action ongoing here, by the way.
Men's discus throw F11. Oni Tapia with a season best. Mariola also a season best with a silver. And Marinkovic, he took bronze in 2012 in London. He takes bronze here in Kobe in 2024. Marinkovic at 51 years of age with a season best on this one of 37.82. Silver medals in both 2015 and 2017 at the World Championships. It's a bronze this time in Kobe 2024. Marty Oland, bronze in the shot put. This is season best for him as well. He was a bronze medalist back in 2019. He's also taken silvers last year and the Paralympics in 2020. He takes a silver this time for Iran. Oni Tapia missed out in the shot put, finishing in 4th position. Bronze medalist back in Tokyo 2020. He was a silver medalist in 2019. He's now a gold medalist in Kobe in the 2024 Paralympics World Championships. 42.76. He's got lifetime best of 46.07. He didn't get near that. He didn't need to. He's looking good heading to Paris later in the year. The Italian flag waving wildly. And Oni Tapia, he's a hero to those kids out there who've been watching on. He went to the crowd. He said hello. Thankfully, when he got down, that leg didn't bring him over too much. Otherwise, that would have been one of those moments in years to come. What happened next? Oni Tapia, season best gold. Marty Oland, season best with a silver. And Bill Marinkovic, he's in the medals again. Season best, 37.82. Men's discus throw, F11.
What happened next, Ali? Women's shot put, F35, 3 going in this. Wang Jun of China had claimed a silver in the last 4 World Championships. Klaudia Malashevska of Poland, European silver medalist previously. No Maria Pomazan in this, the world champion from a year ago. Silver in the Europeans in 2018, bronze 2021 in her homeland in Bydgoszcz. That her best of the day for 3rd. Now, Dila Fruskon Akhmatkunova for Uzbekistan. Bronze in the World Championships in the shot last year. Actually 4th in the shot in the Asian Games a year ago. 8.95, and that good for 2nd. And taking the gold, her first global gold. Silvers in Doha and London and Dubai and Paris. And last year, actually, in Hangzhou in the Asian Games. It is Wang Jun's time. Paralympic gold for her. With that world record mark in 2016. At the end she now. 12.06 here to take the gold at the Universiade Memorial Stadium. Wang Jun is the world champion. Gold for Wang Jun for China. Akhmatkunova 2nd for Uzbekistan, and Malashevska 3rd for Poland. Great result for her.
Great result for them as well. A morning of medals, both on the track, just the one on the track, and we had the 5 in the field. They're piling out of the place now. We'll have to try and get past them as we leave the stadium. That one on the track, by the way, Denpai Cheng for China, men's 100 metres. T36 was the only track medal in the morning session. In the evening session, we'll have 11 on the track and we'll have 5 in the field. But for me, Tolson Tollett, Will Downing and Steph Reed, until then, 5 p.m. local time. Bye for now.
Run it up.